Welcome to The Author's Journey with #1 international best-selling author and in-demand publisher, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. Today, we'll showcase the works of an amazing best-selling author, find out the story behind their book, and explore ways to bring your message powerfully forward. Now, here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone, to The Author's Journey. Honored to be connecting in with you today. And I'm excited to talk with you and share the perspective of amazing best-selling authors that have leaned into sharing their message. They have said yes, and they have released their message, their book, in such a way that it was received as a bestseller. These are amazing people to learn from, to discover how they did it, so we can learn and model some of what they've discovered and they've done. So when you are bringing your books forward, your messages forward, you're able to do it in a way that they are powerfully received. Because what I've discovered is if they can't hear you, they can't see you, they don't know your book exists, it can't have the impact it's called to have and rise to that visibility and traction of bestseller or above. So I'm very excited to have all of you leaning into the conversation today, excited to have you ready, and I know that you're going to love our amazing guest today. And to help prepare us to receive, I want to encourage you to take a deep breath. We forget to do that sometimes, all the way to your toes, and then out. Really giving yourself a moment to slow down, to become present. This is your time. Time to receive, time to be poured into. I encourage you to have a paper and pen ready so that you can write down those tips or those insights that support you. I don't want you to miss any of them. And by becoming present, mindful, breathing deeply, choosing to be fully present, having your paper and pen ready will help you capture those tips, those insights that speak to you, those things that uplift you. Perhaps it's something that our guest shares or I share, or just by being together in this space bubbles up within you. So be ready to capture that and write it down so you capture it and can start to integrate those tips or insights or ahas into your daily life. So our amazing guest, I love his sense of humor, his spirit, some of his perspective on how he looks at things. I know you're going to enjoy it as well. Excuse me. I'm excited about all that he is going to be sharing. And as he shares, I also want you to listen to a reoccurring theme I feel like I hear from him and this particular book that he leaned in to bring forward with his wife, Jody, called And Don't Forget to Smile. I feel like it's a beautiful example of creating and honoring your legacy, those core things that you give to the world and are asked to bring forward, and to do so in as many ways as possible. And this book project that both Peter and Jody leaned into, they are embodying this. They've done this. So I think it's a wonderful couple to learn from. I think you're going to be inspired. And with that, let me introduce Peter today. So Peter Saunders is an international best-selling author. He was born and raised in London, England. His wife, Jody, is from Seattle, Washington, and was diagnosed with Crohn's disease while pregnant with their third child. She has suffered from health issues most of their marriage, and as we speak is actually in her final days. Peter has tried to be a diligent husband, taking care of his wife and children when she was sick or in the hospital. And they have found that their marriage has been amazing and difficult and full of rich life experiences that have helped them grow immensely. And through it all, they've discovered in those ups and downs how important it is to remember to smile, to find that humor, to find that silver lining, to choose that perspective in navigating through life. So they are passionate about reminding you to remember to smile as they bring forward their international best-selling book called ... And don't forget to smile. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful and dynamic Peter Saunders to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words.
You are very, very welcome. Thrilled to have you joining us today. And I'd love to start our conversation with, why did this book and this work just become important to bring forward now? Why was it important to bring forward And Don't Forget to Smile?
Well, it was very important to my wife, Jody, for many years, going through all the pains and struggles that she did with the disease and with complications and all the different things that come with that. So it was very important to her. And she started writing it, probably 10, 15 years ago. And she wrote bits and pieces. She probably has enough chapters to fill about 3 to 5 books. However, it just didn't seem exactly right. And when she was put on hospice, she decided that, she's going to make this one last real big effort to get it done. However, she found that she couldn't do the writing. I needed to help her with that. And so as I did that, she would say things and I would type them in. I found that I was giving some input, trying to make it a little more funny, comical. And then we decided that I was somehow roped into it, that I needed to help with it as well. And so it then became a joint effort, which then became a conversation, kind of like this podcast.
Beautiful. And I love how that's included in this book, this dialogue back and forth about certain memories or instances where an example of learning to smile or shifting perspective was shown. So I love that you were quote unquote roped in. You leaned in.
Yes.
became part of it and said yes to bringing this powerful book forward. And one of the things that I also appreciate that's in this book, so there's that dialogue that has both of your energies and perspectives and what's being shared, but it also has these beautiful images. Do you mind sharing a little bit about those images?
Certainly. Yeah. My wife, again, in her pain and suffering, decided that instead of just feeling sorry for herself, she should look for others and see that there are always others that are in a worse condition than she was. And so she would reach out to help them. She has a love of quotes. I have a love of photography. And we put those two together. So we would put images in the back and a quote on the page. And she would spend hours and hours perfecting it, getting the photo cropped just right, choosing the font, the style of the font so that it is goes along with the quote, and the quote would be something that would be to do with whatever this person was going through. And then we would drive to the person and give them that quote. And generally there would be others, and she has done this for, more years than I can remember. And basically, she now has probably well over 500 of these quote pages. And so they're put in the book with the idea that it kind of breaks up the monotony of people talking back and forth and gives hopefully some hope, some comfort, some peace to the reader.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. I love that. I love that this is another one of her amazing gifts and legacies, and weaving both of your loves together in a way that uplifts people, and that we get to include some of those, not all 500, but some of them in this powerful book. And they each have their own personality, almost energy and vibration to them. The quote and the image together are really powerful, and I know will encourage and bring a smile to many readers' faces. So I love that feel that you have woven together. And listeners, I think this is such a beautiful example of finding those things that you love, the way that you are wired and made to touch the world, to inspire others, to lift up and encourage. What a beautiful thing to remember to include in your writing, in your books, and what you're looking to bring forward. Don't leave part of you out. Bring all of you in and weave that into something that can really serve in a powerful way. And I feel like Peter and Jody have done that beautifully. We are getting ready to go to our first commercial break. And as we do, I want you to think about some of what Peter has shared, and maybe think about some of those things that you just kind of do and love doing to encourage others. And maybe there's a way you can bring that into your writing or into additional ways you can touch people's lives in a powerful, positive way with that. How can you do maybe more of that or leverage it in any way? We'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
Explore the poetry of Sam Yao. His book of poems, Soul's Journey, is a #1 international bestseller. Sam is a contemporary poet with a unique and highly relatable poetic style to convey the essence of spiritual truths for our time. Readers will find beauty, inspiration, and healing in his words. Get his book, Soul's Journey, today on Amazon.com or visit SamYaoPoetry.com. That's Sam, Y-A-U, Poetry.com. Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and you got some great ideas going of, wow, I'd really hadn't thought about that, or maybe I can bring that into my writing more or share out in that new way. It's so good to think about that, because sometimes we just do what we do, or we only think about writing and bringing our message forward in one way. But when we start to ask the question, we start to get curious and explore other ways. It's amazing what we can come up with, the ways we can touch people's lives, the way we can enhance some of the things that we're already doing. So I hope you have some great ideas percolating and ways that you are thinking of bringing your messages forward. And I was thinking, as I was getting ready for the show today, Peter, one of the things that always strikes me about your book is the cover. And I know there was a lot of thought, a lot of reflection that went into this cover before the final design was selected. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about that, how the cover design was selected, what it symbolizes, what people can look for if they're out there looking for your book.
Thank you. Yes, it was quite a process. We wanted something fun and something that is eye-catching. And initially, our son had sent a picture of his son, our grandson, who was doodling, painting, and it just was a funny, and he'd painted on his top as well as on the paper, and it just seemed like a fun thing. But then we found that wouldn't work, so that's inside the book on one of the quote pages. You'll see that picture. But then we had a friend who adopted a young girl, and she decided that it would be fun to put her mom's glasses on, which are, 5 sizes too big for her. And and she has this huge smile. It's just a beautiful, smiley face kid just having fun with her mom's glasses. And we thought, that is the perfect thing, because that's the whole point of the book, is to smile. Don't forget to smile. Because life gets so crazy. There are so many things going on, so many things weighing us down, so many things hitting us at 500 miles an hour, and we just need to remember to smile.
Beautiful. I love it, and I'm just smiling and laughing as I envision your cover and how much every time I look at it, it makes me smile. So I think that's pretty powerful. Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm feeling in as we're sharing about the book, and people are thinking, well, this is great. I love this, but I want to see the picture too. So can you share where people can find your book and the best way to do that, so as they're looking in and they're hearing our conversation, they can lean in and see this cover and possibly get a copy too?
Sure. So the book is available on Amazon and on BarnesandNoble.com, and it is called And Don't Forget to Smile, How We Turned Heartache and Despair into Hope and Happiness.
So we could get your book on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, just leaning in and getting a copy. You can see that beautiful picture that will make you smile. And if you want to lean in and get a copy, that's wonderful. I know it's available in Kindle and in softcover and hardcover print. So great opportunity to lean in. And what a beautiful thing to perhaps look at for the holidays. I was thinking those are just around the corner too, for anyone who's looking for something to put in that stocking or under the tree, or just share as a gift that can uplift and encourage. Because I just think the more we can encourage, lift each other up, brighten each other's day, that really does make a difference, and it can make the hardest of times just a little less heavy when we can be reminded to smile. And I feel like your book creates that, and it has the stories to do that, the shares, as well as the beautiful images. Anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, sorry. We also have a website that is also, and don't forget to smile.com. It has a picture of the cover of the book and some things on there as well. Yeah, that's about the only other thing. Thank you for helping me there. I always have a problem with that last bit, because we spent hours trying to figure out exactly the right wording, and I can never remember it. It's just so much easier, and don't forget to smile.
Exactly. No, I completely understand, and you're so close to it. You have all those versions of what it could be in your mind as you played with it. So no worries at all. You got it exactly right. So we're all good there, and something that, for each of you out there, you want to spend time on that subtitle as well, and you want to make sure that it's really put together in a way that you're happy with and resonates and is something that you can identify with. So it's definitely something to spend time on and bring forward with both the title and the subtitle. And I love that you guys put so much care into each page and each phrase.
Yeah.
And that really shows. Absolutely. So as you look at this, and there was all of the getting it ready, launching it, and then after it was launched, fine-tuning before releasing it in print, what are you hoping that readers gain as it ripples out into the world?
Boy, that's the $5 million question, isn't it? What are we hoping to gain? We are hoping that it helps people. We are hoping that it lifts people. I know we probably shouldn't say this, but I really don't care if it makes any money or not. The most important thing that I can see is that Jody and I, Jody mainly, but myself as well, have left a legacy that we want to help people. If it helps one person not to commit suicide, if it helps one person reach out to somebody who is in pain and struggling and having a really hard time, if it does anything for anybody, then it's been a success. Mm-hmm. And that's all that we can really ask for. The whole point of it is that everybody goes through things. Some people go through worse things than others, but everybody can be happy no matter what their lot in life, no matter what they're going through. You can still find joy and happiness in that journey.
Thank you for sharing that. So eloquent and powerfully shared and very clear. I love that. And I can, yeah, absolutely. I can feel that conviction, that certainty in your why and what you're hoping it does for others. And I just want to give that a moment to ripple out to our readers and our listeners and our followers. And as they are looking at whatever they're called to bring forward, whether it's in how they're showing up in their daily life, if it's in writing, if it's sharing something that encourages others, whatever it may be, to always clearly tap into your why and get really clear on if it makes a difference, what that means, and defining that. You get to set your definition of success. And I love that. I know when I stepped into speaking and sharing, that's what helped me do it, was tapping into my why and really believing if it made a difference for one, I was willing to be uncomfortable and stretched and vulnerable if it could make a difference. And I did it again and again till it became more joyful to be in front of others and share. It took a little while. And so I hear that same kind of calling and answering, that if it can make a difference for one. And I think that's something all of us can check in on and learn from, whatever way we're called to share, that really getting clear on the why and really digging into that purpose is so important. Anything you'd add to that, or you have on your heart to share as well?
No, I think you put it very clearly and precisely. It absolutely, the why is so important, and understanding why you are doing this, because there's a lot of joy, there's a lot of pain and heartache in writing a book, but there's a lot of work involved. But it's worth it, and it really is. It's important to know why you're doing it and have that reason, because that's what will make it successful, I think.
Exactly. And especially if you're clear on your why and how you're defining success, it's not determined on anything outside. It's really
right.
Answering that call, saying yes, and taking those steps forward. And you're right, there's a lot of work involved. And I think it takes some persistence as well, and conviction to keep taking it. So any tips you would give along those lines to our listeners that maybe are in some of that, wow, this is a little more involved or more than I thought? Any suggestions you might give them?
Boy, suggestions, I don't know. I had actually made notes on this as far as all the different things that you don't even think of. Having not written a book before or had it published or anything like that, I had no idea all the different, I don't know, the the different ways that the manuscript has to be edited, and the importance there is in getting having good communication with the editor, and then the other editor, and the other editor, and all the other editors that are involved, because there is so much involved. But it does come to an end, and then you have the joy of the initial launch, and seeing people who have bought the book, and people that either text or email different things as far as, how they think about the book. The reactions to the book have been absolutely wonderful, and it's worth it to have gone through all of the craziness that we went through to get it to that point. So I guess always looking at that end goal in mind, keeping that in mind when you're going through the drudgery, or not drudgery, but the mud of trying to get everything edited and trying to make sure everything is just correct.
Yeah. Yeah, between the multiple edits and the formatting and the layout and just all those different pieces, it can sometimes lose track of that light at the end. So thank you for that important reminder. It does come, and it is worth it.
And I found that I am a person that uses way too many commas. I know that now.
See, these things we get to learn and discover.
Absolutely, yeah.
The growth opportunity. I love it. I love it. Well, we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, listeners, I invite you to think about some of what Peter has shared. And if you are at that point where you're just kind of like, oh my goodness, another editor, another round, or another formatting, just remind yourself every step gets you closer, and that end is coming, and it will get to see the light, and it will get to touch hearts and lives. You're just partway through the journey there. So just remember that it does come, and we'll continue our conversation in just a couple minutes.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
Explore the poetry of Sam Yao. His book of poems, Soul's Journey, is a #1 international bestseller. Sam is a contemporary poet with a unique and highly relatable poetic style to convey the essence of spiritual truths for our time. Readers will find beauty, inspiration, and healing in his words. Get his book, Soul's Journey, today on Amazon.com or visit SamYaoPoetry.com. That's Sam, Y-A-U, Poetry.com. Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that opportunity to think about your why. Going deep, getting clear. How are you defining success for your book, for your message? What are you looking at to measure? Are you choosing your own definition of success? Or are you kind of following others? I encourage you to feel in and really see what matters to you, what's important, what your why is for bringing your message forward for whatever it is actually that you are doing or choosing to not do. Really be clear in your why and bring that in because it matters. We have only so much time. We have only so many hours, so much energy every single day. It's precious. I want to encourage you to choose to spend it wisely, purposely. Don't let others spend it for you. Don't let them choose what's important to you. You get to choose. You get to decide. And I love how Peter and Jody came together, and this was important to them as part of the legacy they're bringing forward, is to remind people to smile, to remind them to find that silver lining, that they can choose to smile no matter what. I think that's an important message for all of us. And I love that they are rippling it out in so many different ways and formats and bringing it forward to make a difference. And even if it makes a difference for one, it has already a success and accomplished its mission. And I love that it's going beyond that and touching many more. And we can all be part of that and choosing to remember to smile, choosing to bring forward those things that matter most. And so with that, Peter, I wanted to circle back in. I know you were sharing earlier that we can find your book on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. You were sharing that the kind of that light at the end of the tunnel, that joy of launch, and some of how that felt. And in fact, your book was received as an international bestseller, so hitting bestselling status in the U.S. and Australia. So around the world, I love that. It's already had, and that was just in its launch, just its inception, as it was shared out in the world, and it's rippled beyond that. So as you reflect back on that and back on our conversation, do you have any final tips or shares on your heart to share with our listeners today?
Boy, that's an interesting question. It's interesting where it hits in different countries, and that was fun to watch. That was, that's one of those blessings that comes after all the work, after all the struggle. There is the blessing of seeing, oh, look, we've got sales here, we've got sales there, and talking to my family in England, and they all got the Kindle version, and different remarks that they gave as far as how they enjoyed it, and didn't realize how much we had gone through at times. And it's like, well, you're my family, you don't know that? But no, just kidding. It's a lot. We've had 30 plus years of strange, wacky, wonderful experiences. So there's a lot in the book, but it really is. That you've got to obviously have the why initially, and then you've got to have that end goal of where it's going to go, where that kind of thing, and then having good people around you to help with that process, because we had A and we were looking at Z, but we had no idea how to get between the two. And fortunately, we found the right people that could help us and were of a great help, and then having that end goal in mind, and it's been wonderful.
Beautiful. I love that. I think that's such a great reminder, too, that you don't have to figure it out all on your own, that you can get that support and bring people along so you can go all the way to Z. You don't have to do it on your own. Yeah. It doesn't have to be harder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, I just appreciate you spending time with us today. I know this is a busy season, and after the launch and all the different formats coming out, it can just get even busier. So I really appreciate you taking time to talk with us today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And I'd love for you to share your website
pleasure.
one more time. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So our website is anddon'tforgettosmile.com. There is no punctuation. It's just the letters. And we have an email address if somebody does want to email, and don't forget to smile at yahoo.com. So it's all
Great.
very, very easy based around the book. We figured that was the easiest way to do it.
Oh, very smart. We don't want to make it harder. That's also a great tip for anyone out there. Yeah. Building a site, building a way for people to connect, make it easy and consistent. So beautiful. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Been wonderful to have you. And listeners, I want to thank all of you for joining us today and leaning in. I hope you got some great tips and you wrote down Peter's contact information, as well as I hope you lean in and take a look at his book and their book and possibly add it to your library. I know it'll make you smile, and there will be so many pieces in there that just touch your heart and your spirit and encourage you. So definitely take a look. And then also for those of you who are looking for that support, you're looking for, how do I get from A to Z? I'm at D and I don't know how to bring it all the way home. How do I bring it out into the world? You're looking for support. I wanted to make a resource available to you. And this is my gift to you. You can find it at emergingauthorseries.com. That's www.emerging, because you're an emerging author, emergingauthorseries.com. You're going to see 9 different modules that answer all of the frequently asked questions, myths versus truth, what is publishing versus best-selling launch, all those things that we get asked all the time, so that you have really great information to help you bring that team to you, find the team to support you, as well as some of what those missing letters are to bring your book forward. So I encourage you to check it out. Hope that it supports and helps you tune into our future shows as well, as we continue conversations with best-selling authors, and each of them share what they have learned, what they've discovered, and I know it'll add to your journey. So have a great week. Keep writing, and we'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to The Author's Journey. Please join Rebecca Hall Gruyter for another edition of the Author's Journey podcast every Monday on the Voice America Variety Channel. And until we talk again, use some of the tips and inspiration from today's show to guide you as you lean in to bringing your message forward.